That was Isaiah Terrio. Here goes Thomas Bradley. Pacing well for the relay, just a minute in. Here's Ellis Braga. Right now, this is the boys' 200-yard medley relay. We had Isaiah Terrio start. Thomas Bradley was second. Ellis Braga just finished, and now you're seeing Ryan Ordelt, who is the fourth lane of the boys' 200-yard medley relay. Ryan with the big finish, all the way in. Officially, it's looking like 2:06.97 for the boys' 200-yard medley relay. So looking at last week, the boys finished with a time of 2:07.73. So almost able to take a whole second off their 200-yard medley relay this week. Very impressive by the Searsport boys. Again, that group was led today by Isaiah Terrio was first, Thomas Bradley second, Ellis Braga third, and Ryan Ordelt was fourth as part of the boys' 200-yard medley relay that you just saw, improving on last week's time by almost a full second. Nice job by the boys. Waiting right now as they finished today's first event. Being told that the time we're seeing on the clock is actually not official time. They actually finished in 2:04, which actually means that there was a full 3-second improvement this week by the boys. So nicely done in this week's heat and this week's meet. Next up is the boys' 200-yard freestyle. We have Sebastian Krumholz, who is going to be swimming for Searsport. There he goes. He's off. There goes Sebastian. Again, this is the 200-yard freestyle. Just hitting the halfway point of the 200-yard freestyle. He's going strong right now. On pace right now to break last week's record by possibly 2 or 3 seconds. About the halfway point of lap number 3. He's got one more lap to go. Again, this is Sebastian Krumholz. He's in the boys 200-yard freestyle. He's on his final down and back. Now he's on his final way down. Once he gets to the end, this will be the finish. Last week, finished at 2:17. This week, 2:12. Takes a whole 5 seconds off his 200-yard freestyle. Nice job by Sebastian. That is a huge, huge improvement, taking a whole 5 seconds off from last week's event. Last week, Sebastian finished first place against Brewer and Foxcroft in this event, the 200-yard freestyle. And as we said, this week, finished at 2:12.60, which is a full 5-second improvement for him. So here we are at the Waldo County YMCA, Belfast, Maine. Your Searsport Vikings swim team is here for their virtual swim meet week 2. Last week they faced off against Brewer and Foxcroft Academy. This week facing off against Brewer and Hampden Academy. Already we have had the boys 200-yard medley relay, where the boys were able to knock a whole 3 seconds off from last week's time. You just witnessed Sebastian Krumholz in the boys 200-yard freestyle, where he took a whopping 5 seconds off from last week's time. As you see it now, we are getting ready for our next event, which is the boys 200-yard IM. I'm not great with the term, so I'm not sure what the IM is.
Individual medley.
Individual medley, thank you.
Here I am, just dropping in. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but...
So we have Isaiah Terrio getting ready for that. Last week, looking at last week's score and stats, Isaiah did finish first in that heat. Again, that was against Foxcroft Academy and Brewer, putting up a time of 2:35.69. And
he was a full 10 seconds ahead of the Hunter Kemp from Foxcroft, and a full 34 seconds ahead of the competitor from Brewer.
So we'll see what he can do here today. As you hear the whistles there, he's going to get ready to take the podium.
One thing I've noticed is how intense Coach Betsy Bradley has been so far. You know, obviously no crowd here, so I guess she's taken into herself to be the crowd.
There goes Isaiah. He is off. Again, this event, the 200 boys 200-yard IM. There we go. Again, this is going to be 4 down and backs. So Isaiah's halfway through his first, or almost finishing up his first down and back.
So I believe in the IM, there's 4 different disciplines. You got your butterfly, your freestyle, the backstroke, which he's currently doing right now, the breaststroke, and the butterfly. Yeah, those are the 4.
There we go.
Dropping some knowledge on you.
Definitely some good knowledge to bring to the table here from the Waldo County YMCA for today's swim meet in your Searsport Vikings.
See, one thing first of all, I can't do any of this like as good as these guys can. But the whole flipping and hitting the wall with my feet, I probably break my ankles. So I'll leave it to Terrio and the boys to do that one.
Yes. A lot of skill and talent there to time it just perfectly, and Lost Isaiah there for a sec, but there he is.
This one right here is the breaststroke. I know that.
This is the breaststroke.
Not a whole lot we can add to this broadcast. Neither one of us know much about swimming, but I mean, I've watched the Olympics, but that's about where my knowledge of swimming has gone by.
There you go, Isaiah.
All right, this should be his freestyle. Yep.
I believe the freestyle is the last of the 4. Is that correct?
That's correct. His last touch after his breaststroke was 2:02.77, and his time last week was 2:35. So we'll find out what that means in a few seconds.
Sounds like we could have our third improved score of the afternoon for the Vikings.
Unofficially, we're at 2:30 right now. 2:33, 2:34. Looks like he's going to fall short of last week's time. But if standings hold true, he'll be able to beat the Brewer competitor.
Nice job by Isaiah. Unofficial time that we have up on the board, 2:40.19. The official scorers are actually down on the deck and have been calling out some of the times.
So, just about same thing.
2:40.03 is the time that has just been yelled up to the scorer, or from the scorer.
All right, what do we got next?
Next event is looking like the girls' 50-yard freestyle. For that, we have competitors Abby Donnelly and Sammy Perkins.
You said the 50 freestyle?
The 50 freestyle.
Looks like Sammy Perkins tied for first last week in that one with a time just over 34 seconds. I don't see where Donnelly competed in this event last week, so we'll see what happens here. Yeah, ain't gonna work that way.
There we go. We tried to improve the view for those at home, but it turns out that's not going to happen. All right, so a little bit of time in between getting them ready. Once we hear the whistle, they will be getting in their starting and setting positions.
It looks like we're gonna have Donnelly in lane. What lane is that? 3?
That is lane 3.
And we got Thomas Bradley's also jumping up.
And so I think overall this is just the boys and girls 50-yard freestyle. And they're off.
Last week, Thomas Bradley finished second, but just barely to the Brewer competitor. So this is a huge race for Thomas. Try to get ahead of his Brewer competitor if the times hold from last week.
We'll try to keep them all on the screen at the same time. Thomas far ahead. He is going. You can see Abby's in the lane 3, but the second lane you may be looking at. And Sammy Perkins in the third lane that you were looking at, the one closest to us here.
All right, we'll try to figure out these times. It looks like Thomas in 25:35, which is about a half a second better than his time last week. Donnelly just doesn't have a time.
And for Sammy Perkins, 33:08 is actually, that is a full second, over a full second better than what she did last week when she did 34:16.
We're not sure what Abby Donnelly did, but 28:36, I believe they said.
28:36.
And if you look at last week's, that blows everybody away. As we said, Abby did not compete last week, according to this. So that's going to be, I like your chances of winning that event.
I do too. Again, facing Brewer again, so we were able to see how our competitors matched up against Brewer last week. Unknown is Hampden Academy. Last week we had Foxcroft Academy. But a fantastic showing all around by all 3 competitors there. You had Abby Donnelly, Sammy Perkins, and Thomas Bradley in the 50-yard freestyle.
I don't know if you've mentioned this yet, but it must be difficult for these swimmers to come out after doing their thing, having faces wet and then throw back on the face mask.
I think so.
At least they don't make them wear them in the pool, and that's kind of like waterboarding. So I'm not sure that would go over well with the MPA.
So today we have seen, just to recap for you, boys 200-yard medley relay. In that event, we saw Isaiah Terrio, Thomas Bradley, Ellis Braga, and Ryan Ordelt combine to improve on last week's time of 2:07. They improved on that by putting up a score of 2:04. That 2:04 was a 3-second improvement from last week. Event number 2 here from the pool saw Sebastian Krumholz in the boys 200-yard freestyle. Last week's boys 200-yard freestyle, Sebastian put up a time of 2:17, and he improved upon that by 5 seconds today when he put up a 2:12. Event number 3 from the pool was the boys 200-yard IM, which saw Isaiah Terrio. He was unable to improve on last week's score, but still put up a very impressive score here from Searsport. From the Waldo County Walleye Pool in Belfast. And last but not least, the event that you just witnessed here was the boys and girls 50-yard freestyle, in which we saw Thomas Bradley, Abby Donnelly, and Sammy Perkins. For Thomas, 25-35. Abby was 28. I forget the milliseconds on that one. And for Sammy Perkins, 33:08 for all 3 improvements upon last week's score. So far, a lot of impressive times from the Vikings here at the pool.
Yeah, you see, as you said, impressive times, great athletes, they take care of themselves. Remember when you were a kid and they're like, don't go in the pool for 20 minutes after you ate?
Yes.
I mean, on my way here, I had a meatball sub. And I tell you right now, I do not want to get in that pool because I would probably drown. I'm very full.
Yes. It is also what are we in? It's February 5th. And it's kind of a nice day outside, but it's still probably in the 30s. In here, I would say I would be willing to bet it's in the 80s. Yes.
The humidity is.
It is warm. Yes, it is very warm. I hope these competitors are eating well. I keep going back to the food. It's very warm. I mean, I don't say eat now, but maybe after they get done, get a couple of bananas, get that potassium in. I've heard that potassium is great for recovery, especially after a hard day of competing, as what is being done here at the pool today by your Searsport Viking swimmers. I
asked some of the kids today, how long will this event last? And they're like, you're lucky it's not an actual swim meet with other teams, because they said that could last up to 4 or 5 hours. So I don't know how much more we got to go, but
I think in the same token though, we need to consider that this is difficult. When you think about the way that these virtual meets work, as you just said, some of these meets can be 5 hours long, and you're talking about upwards of 20, maybe 25 different events. Today we're gonna go through. What do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We have 13 events that we're going to be doing here today. And these events are all going to be shrunk down into less than an hour. For that means very, very limited rest times for these athletes and these competitors. And I think the fact that they've already put up the impressive numbers that they have just shows how great they are here in the pool.
I don't think I've ever been to a swim meet. No, I know I haven't. But I would assume they have, maybe half an hour, 15, 20 minutes between events. As you said, they're going right back at it. Seems like we have a little bit of a break here to give the athletes a little bit of a rest, because swimming, that's huge cardio. I mean, that's a lot more than running up and down a basketball court. That is huge. And you also got the fear of drowning. So get your endorphins going. You use a lot of energy.
And as we're sitting here waiting, going by the meet program that we are currently viewing, it looks as though our next event is going to be the boys 100-yard butterfly. If that stands true, Ellis Braga will be participating in the boys 100-yard butterfly.
Looks like we're getting ready to start back up, Chris.
Let's see, in the boys' 100-yard butterfly last week, I need to get my official stats from last week, but it looks like Ellis finished first in that event last week. Again, that meet was against Brewer and Foxcroft. He put up a time of 1:14:33, so it's a minute and 14 seconds. We are going to see how he does here today. There he is.
What was the event? How long are we going here?
It was 1:14:33 to be exact. 1 minute, 14 seconds, 33 milliseconds was Ellis Braga's time a week ago.
So you said this is the 100 butterfly. That's what we're looking at here?
This is the 100 butterfly, yes, for Ellis Braga. You see Ellis down there. The whistle's gone off, which means he is going to get ready, get himself in the starting position. 100-yard butterfly announced by the official.
A lot of whistles.
He's off. Sorry, I got a little excited there with the camera. Here's Ellis. So we said this is the 100, which means he's going to go down and back, and then down and back one more time. So it will be two full laps on the pool. So he is halfway through, putting up a time of 31:61. Right now he's pacing very well.
So I guess in the butterfly you don't do that flippy kick thing, because it seems like it'd be more efficient, but I guess probably a rule you're not allowed to. I'm just making up things as I go. I have no idea what's going on here.
There goes Ellis. Sees the finish line. It looks like he's about to beat last week's record. Ellis to the finish. Yes, Ellis. Unofficially, we are looking at 1:08:57. That's a whole 6 seconds better than a week ago. We'll see what the official time comes in as, but right now, 1:08:58 is the official word from the official who's down on the pool deck. So again, that is a whole 6 seconds improved and better than what he did a week ago when he won this event, when Searsport faced off against Brewer and Foxcroft Academy.
I don't know what Brewer has to offer, but he is a full 27 seconds with the time today ahead of the Brewer competitor, Benjamin Butterfield. Say that 3 times fast.
So huge improvement, and I think Ellis is showing that he is very dominant in this event. As we said, it's the boys' 100-yard butterfly. Sorry, I lost my paperwork there for a second.
Looks like we're gonna have the girls' 100-yard butterfly. Where are we? Freestyle. Sammy Perkins gonna be the only one competing. Actually, Ryan Ordelt might be jumping in.
Yes, it looks like the boys will run with the girls in this event. So as you said, this is going to be the boys and girls 100-yard freestyle. We should have Thomas Bradley, Ryan Ordelt, and Sammy Perkins who are going to go in this. So as we look to last week, try to give us some insight. Last week, the 100-yard freestyle. Let's see what the times were there. 100-yard freestyle. We had Sammy Perkins with a minute 16 for the boys. We had Ryan Ordelt put up a minute 11. We'll see what they can do here today.
Doesn't look like Thomas Bradley competed last week in this event, so giving it a shot this week.
Wow. Thomas is way out there. I've lost some of the other ones, but Thomas
just touched the wall with this flippy kick thing.
And here comes Ordelt and Perkins. We'll stay on them for a sec as they finish their first lap.
Ordelt and Perkins pretty much neck and neck.
We're going to try to catch up with Thomas, he's
about, what, a quarter of the length ahead?
I think he's about to finish. Again, times are unofficial, but 58:22, under a minute for Thomas Bradley.
That would have, that's better than the Brewer swimmer from last week.
And that's your 100-yard freestyle. Ordell 1:11.58 and Perkins 1:12.60.
Ryan's about where he was last week at 1:11.52. As you said, those numbers are not official until we hear it called out. And who's that? Sammy Perkins. Where is she? 1:16.21 last week. So
that's a whole 4-second improvement. So we've seen a lot of improvement here today by the Vikings. 3, 4, even 5-second improvements. When you're talking about swimming, those are big numbers. That's a lot. That's a lot of improvement there for the Vikings. You have to be proud of Sammy Perkins there, taking a whole 4 seconds off her time. Thomas didn't do this event last week, so we don't have official numbers on that. And for Ryan, about where he was at last week, I believe about almost a full second improvement on his time as well.
We just got let know by Michelle Lucas that they're called flip turns. So
looking flip turns.
Learned something. I was close, right?
Yes, you were close.
So 1:11.49. So Ordell a little bit faster than they had on the board. Looks like next we're gonna have. Looks like Sebastian is gonna be competing in the
500-yard freestyle.
That's a long ways.
That is a long ways. So the 500-yard freestyle, looking to last week, 500-yard freestyle. It does not look like Sebastian competed in this event last week. So we will...
Thomas Bradley did. I don't know if he's competing today. I doubt it. He just went. But Thomas Bradley won this event last week at just under 6.5 minutes. So stay tuned. This might take a little bit.
And the PBC has not put out qualifying times yet, but hopefully soon. Oh, the time has started. It looks like our scorekeeper got a little excited there with a touch, and we'll need to reset the clock. As we do that, we are going to head down at the other end of the pool. We see Thomas Bradley. He looks to have a number flipper there. Oh, I'm sorry. And we missed Sebastian. Sebastian is in the pool. He is off, and this is the 500-yard freestyle, Sebastian Krumholz.
I mean, going down so many times up and down, I think Thomas is there to let Sebastian know what number he is at, as he just put that number 1 in the pool. I mean, you said 500. What's he going to be going, like 10 times?
So the 400 is 4. So I believe that is going to be 5 down and backs.
Oh, yeah, so 10. Yep. That's a lot.
That is.
So Thomas got a 3 ready to go.
So yes, it looks like in the end, the last number he's going to see is the 9. He's pacing well, pacing very well so far. Last week, as we look at it, it looked like the winning time a week ago, you said, was Thomas Bradley. He put up a score of 6:24. So 6 minutes, 24 seconds. We'll see how Sebastian can do today.
And the Brewer competitor was at 7:07.07. So Thomas easily won that event. So that's kind of where we have to measure Sebastian up against. And quite honestly, I don't know what kind of pace he's on, but we'll find out here shortly.
And I think getting as many people into these events as well, getting them qualifying times for the PBC Championship. Your PBC Championship, that will be taking place later this month. All of this virtual, as we have the virtual swim meets. We are here at the Waldo County YMCA in Belfast for the Searsport District High School boys and girls swim team. We have today 5 boy swimmers, 2 girl swimmers who are competing in this week's event. All times are sent off to the host school. The host school compiles all the times and then sends them out, so that way we know who has won individually and what school has won for the team events and the team meet.
So I believe is this the first year we've had a team, like a full team to compete, to go by ourselves?
Yeah, so this year, this is the first time we've been on our own competing in PBC League meets. In past years, swimmers have gone and acted as cooperative individuals is the MPA term for it, have gone over to Belfast High School and participated with their swim team. Because of COVID restrictions, this year that was not an option to send students to Belfast, and thus we have developed our own team and program here out of the Waldo County YMCA in Belfast. Coached by Betsy Bradley, as you can see in the picture right now. She is cheering hard. She is a competitor, former swimmer herself. Also the mother of Thomas Bradley, one of the competitors on the team.
So I think you're way off saying the last one was going to be 9 because we're up to 11 right now.
So I was definitely off. I apologize. Again, this is the 500-yard freestyle. You're looking at Sebastian Krumholz swimming for Searsport.
He's currently at, that split was 3:38.92. So if you look at last week's, he might be just over halfway done.
I think that's a pretty good bet.
You got Ryan Ordelt, Thomas Bradley, and Ellis Braga down there being the cheerleaders in blue. Trying to motivate Sebastian a little harder.
I think that's one thing we've noticed here today. All swim team members, anyone involved in the swim meet, the cheering is loud, it's strong. They are so supportive of their peers, of their team. It's really something great to see.
There is a lady up in like the upper deck that's really yelling. I don't know if she's affiliated with us or...
She is the official timer for today's event. Sister of Betsy Bradley, who is the coach and is the aunt to Thomas Bradley, one of the competitors on the boys' side for the Vikings.
We're at 4:55 split.
And I just heard, I believe someone say, "Take it home," which means this could be his final lap.
Thomas is putting the 17 in the water. I think I think he's gonna get a 19. That'll be the last one.
Okay.
This is the even numbers to finish at 20. And the time kind of works out in that regard. Some random whistles. I don't know what was going on there, but
I think extra excitement to let him know this is your final lap, Sebastian. It's a down and back. I believe that's what the whistle was indicating. I think that's what you can see Thomas right there. Thomas Bradley putting some numbers in the water to let Sebastian know where he's at.
That was one more to go. Here we go. Down the stretch.
And saw a little speed pick up there from Sebastian.
If this is the last lap, he is going to be well ahead of Thomas's time from last week. And he just destroyed Thomas's time from last week. He clocks in at 6:11 and a half. That is a full 13 seconds ahead of Thomas's time from last week. So Sebastian Krumholz with a dominating performance.
And I've said it many times, I'm going to say it again. Vast improvements on the time from the Vikings. Vikings actually scored very well last week. The boys easily took home a team victory, had a lot of individual wins in the meets and the events, and we're only seeing better times here today from both the boys and the girls.
So yeah, about 6:11 and a half for Sebastian out of lane 2.
He's going to take a sec to catch his breath, I think.
Well deserved.
I don't think I could have even finished.
Not much of a swimmer?
I'm not much of a swimmer. I don't sink, but I'm
I don't see the doggy paddle as an event in this.
yes, exactly. That would probably be my event. So as we said, typically an event like this, or a meet like this, would take about 5 to 6 hours. These events have been broken down. We have 13 total events here today from the pool. This meet will take less than an hour.
We're about 35 minutes in, I believe.
So we're more than halfway through today's docket of meets, and it's impressive. It's one of those things where there's a lot more wait time, a lot more time to catch your breath, a lot more time to get rehydrated, a lot more time to get potassium into your system, get yourself ready for the next meet, next event. Today, not so much. Limited times, and yet the Vikings still are breaking records that they set last week and are continuing to improve on their times.
Are the other competitors, the other schools, Brewer and Hampden, are they racing like at the same time? Or are they going to race earlier or later? Is it kind of like that?
So every school sets a different date where they are going to do their virtual meet. For Hampden Academy, they did their meet on Monday night. At Brewer High School, they did their meet on Wednesday night. And here we are Friday night, we are doing our meet. So their results are sitting in a computer system somewhere, just waiting for us to send ours along. And once they do, those numbers, those times, those stats get all jumbled up and mixed together, and then we get the meet results.
So I'm sure those numbers are kept in the vault for the week, just so, if we see Brewer had a kid that was 6'13", Sebastian knows what he has to beat. So I believe those are kept secret.
Yes, I don't believe that is public knowledge until the meet has come to a conclusion.
Let's say we're going to have a few guys going. I don't know if we have a relay or not, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys look like they're ready to go.
Yes, it looks like next up is the boys' 200-yard freestyle relay. For Searsport, Isaiah Terrio will be the leader of the pack, followed by Ellis Braga, Ryan Ordell, and last in that will be Sebastian Krumholz, who only just finished up his individual meet.
He just swam like 30 miles. Is he going to give the kid a break?
He just swam for 6 minutes and 11 seconds, and he will be your final leg of the meet. And there it is. Isaiah Terrio is in. The boys' 200-yard freestyle relay is underway.
Isaiah's the lone senior on this boys' squad. One of 2 seniors on the entire team. With on the girls' side, you got Sammy Perkins. So,
and as we said, this is the boys' 200-yard freestyle relay.
And here comes Braga into the pool. So each one of them will do an up and back. This is Braga. Terrio's time was 27:63.
The boys' 200-yard freestyle relay last week saw your Vikings put up a time of 1:54.84. This week, they have taken Thomas Bradley out and have put in Sebastian Krumholz for the final leg of the meet.
Here comes Ryan Ordell.
Ryan Ordell is in the pool.
He's going hard.
He is the third leg of this 4-man boys 200-yard freestyle relay.
Coming up next, as you said, we're going to have Sebastian Krumholz. After he just did that 6-minute race, he's going to be the anchor of this squad, trying to bring him home.
And so far, things are pacing well for the Vikings as they look, and Sebastian is in, as they look to improve upon another time from last week. A lot of improvement here today, as we've said. Just about every individual has improved on previous week's times, and we may very well see it here again in the boys' 200-yard freestyle relay.
Last week, their time was 1:54.84. Going to be close, Chris. Just fell short at unofficially 1:56.11. But as we said, Sebastian this is almost 6.5 minutes of racing. So he's got to be a little winded, I would think, but still a respectable time for the Vikings.
And as you look at it, last week they put up a time of 1:54.84. Second place in last week's meet was a whole 17 seconds behind. Yes, they might have added a second and a half this week to their time, but still there is a good chance that this could be an improvement upon, or this could be enough to win the meet for the Vikings.
All right, coming up next, I'm not sure what event it is, but it looks like Abby Donnelly is going to be participating, getting her goggles all set.
Next, it looks like it will be. Looks like we might be going out of order, and that's okay. I think it said it was going to be the boys' 100-yard backstroke, but as Isaiah was just part of the relay, it seems as we will take a quick skip and go to the girls' 100-yard breaststroke, which will feature Abby Donnelly.
Say the breaststroke, is that what we're doing?
Yes, girls' 100-yard breaststroke.
All right, Abby, last week in the meet finished at an even 1 minute 24 seconds. So we'll see what happens here.
See if she can improve upon that time this week. As we have said many times, and we'll say it again, we are here at the Waldo County YMCA in Belfast. This is your Searsport Vikings boys and girls swim team, in typical years acting as cooperative individuals at Belfast High School. This year, because of COVID safety concerns and regulations, are swimming as their own team, and they have come out strong here in today's meet.
All right, Donnelly gets the 6 or 8 whistle to tell her to get on the blocks.
And there she is. Again, Abby Donnelly, girls, 100-yard breaststroke, taking her marks, and she's off. I believe we said last week it was 1 minute 24 seconds was her time. See how she does today. We did have some difficulties with our live stream. We attempted to use the computer and be on YouTube. Some technical difficulties have brought us onto Facebook Live. We appreciate you watching us. We will leave this video up so it can be watched over and over, and we will upload onto our YouTube page later tonight so people can continue to watch. There's Abby. Again, this is the girls' 100-yard breaststroke.
She's at 1 minute right now.
I believe this is her final lap, or final back of the down and back, as I'm calling it.
Currently at 1 minute and 12 seconds. Got 10 seconds to get there to be your time.
Pacing well.
It's going to be close.
Put you on the clock.
One last push, Ab. 1:22.90 unofficially.
And that is almost a full 2 second improvement. Again, we'll give you a quick recap as you can go back and watch this later on, but just a quick recap of today's events as we are coming towards the end of our virtual meet here today. First off was the boys 200-yard medley relay that featured Isaiah Terrio, Thomas Bradley, Ellis Braga, and Ryan Ordelt. They saw a 3-second improvement on last week's 200-yard medley relay. Next up was the boys' 200-yard freestyle from Sebastian Krumholz, which saw a full 5-second improvement on his time from a week ago. In the boys' 200-yard IM, we had Isaiah Terrio. In that event, we saw a 2-second improvement on a week ago. And the boys and girls 50-yard freestyle, as we ran them as a combined event, we had Thomas Bradley, Abby Donnelly, and Sammy Perkins. Both Thomas and Abby did not compete in the event last week, and Sammy did. All had very impressive times. As we were doing the recap, we see that Isaiah Terrio stepping in the wall.
Oh, I thought he fell, but he's good.
Maybe a quick false start. This is the boys' 100-yard backstroke. A week ago, Isaias is in the water.
He won the event a week ago barely won the event over the Foxcroft competitor at 1:13.33. So Terrio looking to improve on his time.
As we've said, almost an improvement of 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds in Sebastian's case, as he very impressively did the boys 500-yard freestyle. He put up a whole 14-second improvement in that event. That's the biggest improvement we've seen so far today, but every event we've seen improvement from your Viking swimmers.
At the flip turn, Terrio was at 34.08. When they're lying on their back like this, how do they know when to flip? I can see when you get your face down, you can see the pool, the paint in the pool, but any inside information on that one?
No inside information. I'd say lots of practice. These are very, very talented athletes. And
it looked like about 1:11, the clock kind of kept going.
I think the clock went out. We're hoping
he will have an improvement on his time from last week, Chris.
And we will get
1:10.93.
1:10.93.
Which is quick math. That's a solid 2.5 seconds faster than last week.
So Isaias improves on his boys' 100-yard backstroke. And with that, we'll be gearing up for our final event of the day here from the pool. The boys' 400-yard freestyle relay. For this event, again, this is the boys' 400-yard freestyle relay. We will have Thomas Bradley, followed by Ellis Braga, Ryan Ordelt, and finished off by Sebastian Krumholz.
Sebastian ain't getting much of a break today.
No, Sebastian has been involved in just about every event, and some of them with not a whole lot of rest. Oh, it sounds like we are getting a quick switch.
I think
Coach Betsy Bradley has made the call, and I believe
they're going to change
it
up.
sounds like Sebastian is actually going to be your leader of the event, and Thomas will move in as, I'm going to call it the anchor.
I think that's what they call it.
The final leg of the event. So we're going to change the order. We'll reset the lineup here. And the boys' 400-yard freestyle relay, Sebastian Krumholz starting us off, followed by Ellis Braga, Ryan Ordelt, and finished off by Thomas Bradley.
Looks like Thomas been fairly fresh. He hasn't done an event in a little while, so maybe give him that added energy at the end to make up some time.
As we look a week ago at this event, we have the times from last week. This is the boys' 400-yard freestyle relay.
Last week, it was they finished at 4:36.93.
And we're off. Sebastian is in the pool.
Last week, it was competitors Ryan Ordell, Ellis Braga, Sebastian Krumholz, and Isaias Terrio.
And they put up a time of what did you say again?
It was 4:36.93. So Terrio's taking this week off, and it looks like he's being replaced by
Thomas Bradley, right?
Yeah, Thomas Bradley. Yep.
Who will be your anchor in the meet. Sebastian is back with his first.
As you said, I think it's good that a lot of these swimmers are very good in the different disciplines. You know, as we said, Terrio did last week. This week it's going to be Bradley. So, you know, if one guy goes down, one guy gets hurt, you know, and then maybe the PBC Championship, that guy can step right in because he's used to it.
Yes, I think a lot of strategy being shown here today. Getting different people into different events, getting them to qualify for the PBC Championship. As we said, that will be taking place at the end of the month. We will be here from the pool for that one to broadcast that and get you results as soon as they become available to us, as we will with this meet.
Running the second leg for the Vikings is going to be junior Ellis Braga. The Sebastian's time was 1:02 something. They changed. Oh,
quickly took it off. So here it is. So far, I believe they're pacing well. If Sebastian's time was 1:02, I believe you said last week's time was
4:36.
4:36. So already the Vikings pacing well ahead of where they were a week ago with this in this same event. Ellis finishing up his final leg of the down and back.
Bunch of great athletes on the deck here today. A lot of multiple sport athletes. One comes to mind, Ellis Braga. He was a cross country runner, and he helped out a soccer team when they had no players, as did Thomas Bradley. So soccer team thanks them for that.
As we are with the third leg of the event, Ryan Ordell is in the pool.
Ryan Ordell didn't seem like he hit a clean entry to the pool. But
We have a running time right now of 2:36. Vikings still pacing very well compared to where they were at a week ago. We'll see how we go as Ryan will head for his second lap.
Thomas getting ready to get on the block. I think they're called blocks. They're called blocks in track. They called blocks?
Yes, I do believe that those are called blocks. We are not great with our terminology when it comes to our swim terminology, so we apologize in advance, but are happy to bring this event here to you all today.
There goes Ryan, finishing up strong. His last 10 meters or so.
Ryan's coming towards the end. As you said, Thomas Bradley getting ready to enter, and there he is.
That time, that split was at 3:26.98. As we said, their time last week was 4:36.93.
Seems like they very well could finish ahead of where they were at a week ago, as we have said numerous times, and we're going to have to continue to say possibly again. Improvements all around today for the Vikings, as they have taken seconds off of their times from a week ago, their meet last week when the boys were able to beat Brewer and Foxcroft Academy, and this week they're facing off against Brewer again, as well as Hampden Academy.
All right, that split was 3:51 at the last touch, and here he comes at 4:12, well ahead of last week's pace. They're probably gonna take off a good 15 seconds. We'll see where we're at.
1:21.73 unofficially.
So that's exactly 15 seconds. Last week they're at 4:36.
That is very impressive. That is the biggest improvement the Vikings have made in cutting off their time of any of the events that we've had here today. So that is going to take us to the end. We'll do a quick recap for you. Do our best to remember. First meet of the day was boys 200-yard medley relay. That saw Isaiah Terrio, Thomas Bradley, Ellis Braga, and Ryan Ordell improve upon their time by 3 seconds. Yes, 3 seconds. In the boys 200-yard freestyle, we saw Sebastian Krumholz, who also vastly improved upon his time from a week ago. That one was a whole 5 seconds. Isaiah Terrio with the boys 200-yard IM saw a 2-second improvement from a week ago. Just under 2 seconds, I apologize, just under 2 seconds. In the girls 50-yard freestyle, Abby Donnelly and Sammy Perkins both competed. Abby did not compete a week ago, but did see a fantastic time that she put up. Sammy Perkins was able to take a whole 2 seconds off of her time from a week ago. In the boys 50-yard freestyle, Thomas Bradley was able to improve upon his time by 4 seconds from a week ago. In the boys 100-yard butterfly, Ellis Braga was able to improve 2 seconds upon his time from a week ago. In the girls 100-yard freestyle, Sammy Perkins was able to see improvement from her time a week ago. In the boys 100-yard freestyle, we had Thomas Bradley, who was able to improve upon his time a week ago. Apologize.
We should have wrote some of this down.
Boys 100-yard freestyle, Ryan Ordell was also able to improve upon his time from a week ago. In the boys 500-yard freestyle, Sebastian Krumholz did not compete last week, but did take a whole 16 seconds better than the winner of last week's event, which should bode well for this week. In our next event, the boys 200-yard freestyle relay, which saw Isaiah Terrio, Ellis Braga, Ryan Ordell, and Sebastian Krumholz compete. I do not have the official time on that one, so I apologize, but I do know that there was improvement on that again. And the boys 100-yard backstroke, which saw Isaiah Terrio compete. He did finish a hole just under 2 seconds better than a week ago. In the girls 100-yard breaststroke, we had girls 200-yard breaststroke. Sorry, I've lost my page here. I apologize. Give me 1 second.
I'm just trying not to lose my page over into the pool.
Just from a week ago, she also saw improvement. I am unable to find that timer off the top of my head, but I do know that she showed improvement. And the boys 400-yard freestyle relay, which you just witnessed here today, or just here moments ago. I apologize. We saw Sebastian Krumholz, Ellis Braga, Ryan Ordell, and Thomas Bradley put up a time of 4:21.73, which was a full 15 seconds better than a week ago. So from here, from the Waldo County YMCA, you saw competitors Isaiah Terrio, Thomas Bradley, Ellis Braga, Ryan Ordell, Sebastian Krumholz, Abby Donnelly, and Sammy Perkins all compete for your Searsport Vikings boys and girls swim teams. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will let you know of the results against Brewer and Hampden Academy once they are made available to us. From the Waldo County Y in Belfast, Maine, we hope you have a fantastic evening.